Futbol W continues as we take a look at the second semifinal today over in France, featuring Brazil against the defending World Cup champion Spain. And this one did not go according to the script. Brazil opened the scoring 6 minutes in off an own goal. Gabby Portillo made it 2-0 just before the half. Adriana made it 3-0 in the 71st minute before Spain pulled one back through Salma Parayuelo. Caroline made it 4-1 Brazil. Parayuelo added a second to make it 4-2, and that was the final score, a result that sees Spain go to the bronze medal match on Friday, where they will face Germany. Meanwhile, Brazil are into the Olympic final where, you know it, they're going to face off against the United States. It'll be the first time for Brazil back in an Olympic final since 2008 when they lost to the United States in Beijing. Sam Mewis, former U.S. women's national team, are now with the Men in Blazers Media Network, still with us here on Futbol W. Sam, I'll start with you. Just how surprised with you, not necessarily that Spain lost, but that Spain lost in the manner that they did against this Brazilian team.
I know. It was surprising. I mean, I think to go down the way they did, they kind of came back, but were you ever really fully convinced that Spain was going to come back? I personally wasn't. I think that Brazil just presented something that Spain wasn't really prepared for, and it was this kind of all-over attack. Like, every chance I looked up, it seemed like Brazil was creating a new opportunity out of something different and unique, and Spain just didn't seem ready for it. I will say that Spain's game against Colombia, in which they were also down 2-0 for much of the game, they fought their way back. It was really impressive to come back from that, but it was a little bit of a red flag. Like, is this the Spain of the 2023 World Cup that was just unstoppable? And it was a little red flag, like maybe they don't quite have it. But to see them lose to Brazil 4-2, I was surprised. I think most people were surprised, but it's showing real signs of life from Brazil that they are going for this and that they want it. So it's definitely, it was a surprise for me, but it's setting up the final to be really, really exciting. What
do you think happened to Brazil in this game, Allie? Because we've been saying for a long time, even before the U.S. got playing well, that Spain were the tournament favorites.
Yeah, I think they have a different motivation now that Marta wasn't available for two of these games because of a red card. And so I think they are fighting for her. They want her to play in her last international game and not one receiving a red card. And therefore, they are, so motivated to get to the final. And I think a part of their attack, like Sam was alluding to, is just a bit inconsistent. And so that's why it's a bit surprising, because you really never know how they are going to play. I'm not sure if
you never know how they're going to line up half the time.
Line up, right. Their structure is not really set like how the U.S. women's national team has come in with that consistency. And it's played, it's played well for them. And I think that they've, they've done well these past two games. So it's been really interesting to see the personnel, the lineup, the formation, the style that they're trying to play. And quite frankly, on transition, they've been brilliant. And so that's why I think today, even 3-0, I never thought Spain was going to really come back, especially when you have Alexis coming in late in the game. She made it, she created a few chances and they scored 2 goals, but it was already too late.
How disappointing was Spain for you?
They were disappointing. I was expecting, possession-oriented, being clinical, being confident on the ball. You have a team that thrives under that pressure, and they have an excellent build-out. They play through the lines, and you just didn't see that today. And it was disappointing because, we all expected that they would be, favorites and get to this game. And I was hoping for a U.S.-Spain final, but, Brazil came out with that extra motivation and that mentality that, saw them through to win.
This continues the streak that we have never seen a team win a World Cup and then the next year go on to win the Olympics. You would think at some point that would have happened. Sam, why is it so hard for teams when they win a World Cup to 12 months later, turn it right back around and win the Olympics? Why have we not seen that yet?
I think it's a lot of things. I mean, I know teammates of mine who have experienced this time and time again, like, would say you win and then things kind of change, and we all started looking at the Spanish national team like they're unstoppable, they're the team to beat. I'm sure some of their lives changed. They made more money, they got more deals, things change. And I think it's not to say that you can't make more money, get more deals, have other things going on in your life and not win. But I do think that there is an impact on your life and the team. That are you approaching each practice with the same intensity? Are you approaching each game with the same intensity? And what I'll say about Spain of this tournament was maybe they thought it was just going to come. Maybe in 2023 it was easy, and maybe they just got to show up and play through the lines, and things worked out for them. In a day like today, you're down 3-0 to Brazil. You find yourselves in that situation, and I just don't think they had that killer instinct that they have shown in the past. I don't think that they had those moments that showed that they were playing with the heart and the desire. I think it's really, really tough to say that because we're seeing women's football go through this huge change and this transition. Spain are also in their first Olympics. They're competing for a bronze medal. They're like in a good spot, and I'm not here saying that they have totally failed and that the program isn't what we thought it was. I think that Spain are an incredibly talented team, but winning again, now you have a target on your back. Now there's all these different changes in your program. Like, it's a lot to ask, and I think that's why we've never seen it done before. I hope someday we will, but it was a really big ask for the Spanish team, and I just don't think they showed up today the way that we hoped they would.
You have some experience with that, Ali. You won it all in 2015. 2016, you guys got in the quarterfinals in Brazil against Sweden. Why is it so difficult for teams to kind of turn it around a year later?
I think just like Sam had mentioned, now, everybody wants to be the best, and everyone brings their best game against you. And so we did have a target on our backs. I mean, yes, for years and years, but in that moment, I think it's difficult because personnel might change as well. I think teams, you win, and most likely you don't want to fix anything that's not broken. But within our past and within our team, there were some personnel changes and maybe formation changes. So I think things that are out of your control kind of also come into play. But it's very, very difficult to, get back on that same level with the same exact mentality, the same exact personnel, the same exact principles. And also maybe there's coaching changes. And just like Sam also had mentioned, foundational changes maybe in the organization or the federation is important. So yeah, those factors also play a role in some of the uncontrollables.